Namaste, good morning, Nepal. Good morning, everybody watching us live now. I'm back here today, and this is going to be a very special session with you here. And of course, as you see on my screen, we have a special guest today to talk about the University of Findlay. Of course, very popular name in Nepal and among many international students. And yes, I've been working with Findlay as the special partner for last, I would say, 20 years. And the time when I started this career, this consulting career. Of course, this was my one of the first partner university in the US to work with. So I feel glad about continuing the partnership with Finlay, and you should know why. Of course, this is the best, one of the best universities to study at as international student. You would have evidence of plenty of international exposure, the experience as international student. You can have a better life. And of course, uh, without any further delay, I just want to welcome Ms. Rebecca Jensen, who is the Vice President of Marketing and Engagement, Global Marketing Investment at the University of Findlay, Ohio. And yes, also on the screen, I have one of the students as international student, Ms. Minal Bister, joining us live, and she would be sharing about her experience so far. And yes, guys, she's from Nepal. All right. So welcome everyone. Welcome Rebecca and welcome Minal.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I'm really excited for the chance to talk with you and present you a little bit about the University of Findlay. As Pawan said, we have had Nepalese students here for a really long time. I am incredibly excited that it seems to be the visa offices, and getting a visa in the last year, 6 months is a lot easier for Nepali students, because we at one point we would expect 30, 40, 50 Nepali students come in for every intake, and then I know it's been challenging. So I am really looking forward to this spring intake to be able to welcome a good number of our Nepali students back to campus. I do have a quick presentation that I want to show you all and kind of give you an overview of the university. Bear with me. Hopefully I can make
Yes.
this.
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. And in the meantime, I request Miss Minal to talk about yourself, what you do, you feel like, and then see what could be the expectation of our Nepalese students, some new Southeast students. Please, if you could share something.
So I am a graduate student. I'm doing MBA in University of Findlay. I joined on the August intake, and I've been here since then. I'm well settled now. The Buffett Center and international admissions have helped me a lot, and especially Buffett Center, the people are so friendly. That was something really new to me. They were like family, and they've been helping me throughout. International admissions have been helping me with the social security number and everything else. They've been really nice. And right now I'm living nearby campus. So I've been settled with the housing, and then I've been registered with all my class. My dean was super helpful with that. And yeah, it's just been overwhelming for me because everyone has been nice and friendly. It's just, I'm not like, it's just that everyone's been really nice and friendly, and it's a good experience so far. Yeah.
Great to hear that, Minal. Thanks for sharing about your experience so far, and we're glad to hear about that. And definitely, this will be something more interesting to our incoming students from Nepal and other
Yeah.
parts of Asia. So, if there is something that you find must be to be improved at Finlay, please share about that thing as well. But I'm sure Finlay has all for every international student, because they are not new to the international market. So they've been here for many years. So I would say that they have been addressing all the concerns and being a better place every time I talk about the university.
Yeah.
And Miss Rebecca, her leadership, and of course the president, all the whole team at Finlay. I'm very impressed with their vision. Thanks to that leadership, Miss Jenkins.
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
guys. Please feel free to ask any questions on the chat box, on the comment box. We'll just pull that up for you, and then we'll address that question, and definitely will help you find out the best options if you are thinking about studying at the University of Findlay. and want to know about the programs they offer to you. Yeah, just for the highlight, they have MBA programs, which is very popular, not just among the domestic, like Native American students, but to many international students already. And next thing would be the programs like health informatics, which is high in demand across the globe. They also offer that one, and they are one of the top 10 universities in the United States for that program. Other would be like environment, safety, and health, which is also very popular. And another one, applied safety, applied applied computing and business analytics, which is quite popular. And besides it, there are many others like physiotherapy and all. So we'd be like talking about that. We'd be hearing about that from our special guest today, Miss Jenkins. Over to you, Veronica.
Now, can everybody, if I do?
Yeah, sure.
There we go. You guys see? Did that work? We can see my screen?
Yep.
Woohoo! I did it. Okay, now let's see if I can get it to progress. How do I? Oh, here. I bet you. From here, maybe? Did that advance the screen?
Yeah, it changes. Yep.
Good. Okay. Technology is fun. Okay, so just a quick overview about the university. We actually were established in 1882. So, and we've been welcoming international students here for about the last 60 years. So we are not a new university. There's a lot of strength in having a century plus of experience behind us. We are a mid-sized private university. So we are about 3,500 total students. So we're not really big. We're not really small. I think we're a really nice place in the middle. And what that enables us to do is to have smaller classes. So you will not be sitting in a lecture hall with hundreds of people. Your biggest class might be, if you're a traditional undergraduate freshman, might be 50 people. Most of your classes are going to have about 16 to 20 people in it. And our classes are taught by faculty. Generally, we don't have very many teaching assistants, so you actually will get a chance to know your faculty, to learn from them directly, and not have a teaching assistant go in between. We have a full host of degree programs. We have about 86 bachelor's degrees, 11 master's degrees, and 4 doctoral degrees. About the only degree we don't have is engineering or architecture. So if that's something that you were passionate about and what you want to go into, Findlay's probably not going to be the right fit for you, but we have a lot of other great programs that will be. Now, this is something that's always really important to everyone. We are ranked nationally by all the major ranking associations: US News and World Report, Princeton Review, Money Magazine, Wall Street Journal. We are a faith-based, a Christian-based university. Church of God is our religious affiliation. So we are the #1 Church of God school in the United States. But what I tell people about that is if you are a Christian and joining your Christian faith is important to you, there's a lot of opportunities here to do that. If you're not, or you don't, that's not why you're coming to college. It is not something that is forced or imposed on anybody. It is here for the students that want it to be here. For the students that don't want it or don't want it part of their college experience, they don't feel out of place. As he said before, we are the #1 health informatics program in the United States. We have a lot of strong health professions programs. Our occupational therapy and our physical therapy programs are ranked in the top 100 in the United States for those types of programs. To give you an idea of where we are in Ohio, which is in the Midwest part of the country. You can see here, there's our logo. We're kind of in the upper corner of Ohio. So what this means is you will come here and get a true United States college experience. With being in the Midwest, you will find a little bit more space, a little bit less crowded cities, and super friendly people. And you can also see that we are a close drive to some of the most major cities in the United States. The city of Findlay itself is about 42,000 people, which seems a little small, but there's a lot to do here. There's a lot of things to do. Detroit's only about 2 hours away. Columbus, which is one of the biggest cities in the country, is only about 2 hours away. Chicago is a fun weekend trip. It's a fun 5-hour drive away. New York, actually, we have students that go there for the weekend. So a lot of our students enjoy being here during the week, and then on the weekends taking a fun road trip to explore other parts of the United States. So like I tell people, if you're coming and your heart is set on going to California, that's a bit of a distance.
But not too far. It's just like few hours flight, and then it's to the west. So,
Yes.
like you said, you are located right in the middle. That means like going to New York or coming to here in California. I think it doesn't take long.
Yes, and the United States is actually a very big country, especially compared to Nepal. So, like,
Uh-huh.
I would not drive to visit Pavan in California. I would fly, and it would be a 3-hour
Of course, yeah, yeah.
flight.
Hmm.
Some of our most popular programs for international students. International students could take any program here at the University of Findlay. It just seems that they tend to be interested in a certain number of programs. I'll tell you, one of the top programs that I strongly recommend is our Environmental Health and Safety and Sustainability program. We have that as both an undergraduate and a graduate program. If you are someone who enjoys science and math, but you're not quite sure what you want to do with that, this program is ideal for someone who is good at science and math, who has a passion for helping make the world a better place. And you in this program, you'll learn environmental sustainability practices, you'll learn health and safety practices, how to make workplaces safer. You'll learn how to make the environment safer and cleaner, how to help manage crisis situations if you have an environmental issue. And the really great thing about this program is it is a STEM program. So there's a 3-year OPT with this program. And I can tell you at both our undergraduate and graduate level, we actually right now can't graduate enough students to fill the demand from the employers who want to hire our students. These students are graduating from here making 70,000 a year with a couple job offers on the table. So if you're not sure what you want to do, if you like science, I would strongly encourage you to consider that one. Our other really strong programs are the MBA program, like Minal is in. We have a great MBA program. It has a couple different concentrations in it: healthcare management, marketing, accounting, international business. There's some different options that you can specialize in the MBA program. Our computer science and applied analytics program and our health informatics program. The pandemic has made these programs even more important. Computer
Hmm.
science and applied analytics is a master's program. We have it as an undergrad too. It is just that it is being able to operate computers, code computers, big data, cybersecurity. It's a fantastic program. Our health informatics program has gotten incredibly popular the last year. That program is fantastic for if you have a healthcare background or if you have a computer background, but you want to work in the healthcare field. It is a master's degree. This program actually teaches students how to manage all the data that we are collecting from healthcare and like the hospital data, all these things. So, and what to do with that data and help the health systems and the CDCs and those types of organizations manage that type of health data. I think that's why we've seen such a big increase in interest in that program. Exercise science is another one that we have a lot of interest in from international students. Our pharmacy program, education, but again, there's quite a few different programs. But the only one we don't have is engineering and architecture.
Hmm.
One of the nicest things about the university is because of our size, we really make sure all of our students work and have hands-on experience in their program, whether they're a grad student or undergrad student, before they graduate. 100% of our programs have this sort of learning component built into it. You're not just sitting in a classroom listening to a professor talk. You are sometimes, of course, but there's also the other part of it where we get you out. We get you doing anything from these guys do research, undergraduate research and graduate research, and they present at our own symposium that we have every year. Our students present at national and regional conferences. They do all kinds of really exciting things. They work with, I'm sure Middle's going to have some opportunities to work with some area businesses here in town and create business plans for them. So they're actually getting a chance to do real things before they graduate to make sure that that's really what they want to do. And also to give them an edge when they graduate so they can have something to point to when they're interviewing for jobs of what they've done. I've talked a little bit about the one-on-one support. With having international students here for as long as we have a lot of support services that are built up just for international students. She mentored our Buford Center, which is a group of people that are here to help you get acclimated, to be that friendly face, to answer any questions you have. They do a lot of activities and stuff for international students. We also have an English language learning center that's just for our international students whose first language is not English. It's almost like a study hall or time, but it's staffed with people who can help international students decipher. Maybe they're struggling with some of the things they're reading. Just to give you an idea of main campus, we have an 80-acre main campus, but we also have a couple of equestrian and animal science farms. We are the #1 pre-veterinary medicine program in the United States, and we have some really strong equestrian riding programs. That's a really fun feature to campus. The university actually owns about 300 horses that our students our equestrian students ride and take part in. This is just another picture. It gives you an overview of main campus. We're a very traditional American college campus. We have wide open spaces. We have big academic buildings. We have residence halls, spaces for students to hang out, athletic facilities. It's a very wonderful traditional United States college experience. International students are not required to live on campus. Minnow herself is doing what many of our students do, where they rent one of the houses that are located right around campus. And eventually they all kind of find friends and have roommates and all rent together. If you do want to live on campus, we have a number of different options. We have traditional dorms, we have apartments, we have condos, we have like independent houses that students will get together and rent for friends. So there's a lot of housing options on campus. I do want to note that in Findlay, there is not a mass public transportation system. There is Uber. We do have shuttles that go to and from different places, but we don't have a subway or anything like that. So living close to campus is important, because lots of times if you don't have a vehicle, you're walking. But all of our students do it, and they all figure out how to make it work for them. This is a picture of our old main and our main campus area, like what you see from the main street. This is one of our newest buildings on campus. Minnow has probably spent some time in here. This is our College of Business and Student Life Center. The first floor, there's a food court. You can see there's nice gathering space there. The second floor is where the College of Business is, and they have beautiful classrooms and learning spaces there. This is one of our science buildings. This is where our forensic science program is, and our biology and chemistry labs are in this building. It's a really neat space, but I just want to give you an idea of the types of buildings we have. We are a liberal arts founded university. So we have all the art programs as well. So this building here is actually one of our art buildings. And in that building is our Mazza Museum. We are home to the largest collection of original art from picture books in the world. And that museum is there in the building. Mel, have you been in there yet? Have you been to the Mazza Museum yet?
Yeah, I've been there.
It's very neat, and it's a nice place to go. So, and that's just a neat feature to campus. We have a lot of health professions programs here. This is one of our health professions buildings. We have about 17 different health professions programs, and a lot of ours are physical therapy, occupational therapy, social work, nursing. A lot of these health professions programs are pretty rigorous. In that building, it's always one of my weird fun facts. We have one of the largest cadaver labs in this part of in the state, because of the number of health profession students we have here. So we talk about hands-on learning. They really do learn that way. Another nice feature to the university is we have a lot of student organizations. Learning here takes place in the classroom and outside the classroom. I think some of the most fun things you get to do is get to know people and get involved in student organizations. We do have a Nepalese student association. I think it's a little small right now, but hopefully by spring we have a lot more Nepalese students come.
It's gonna go definitely.
Yeah, and we can build that. We can build that group back up. And the neat thing with student organizations, if there isn't one that you want to participate in, you can start one and do your own thing with it. So with it being a traditional college campus, there's a lot of activity things to do to keep yourself busy. We have a nice cardio center. We have a pool. There's intramural sports. I know there's a group of international students that get together on Friday nights and play basketball in the gym. So there's a lot of things to do to keep yourself moving and not just in class and doing homework. That wouldn't be any fun. Just a little bit about the city of Findlay. It's a small city. Its downtown is walkable from campus. The nice thing with being in Findlay is our cost of living is really affordable compared to some other parts of the United States. This is a nice comparison I like to make. In Findlay, if you make $50,000 a year in Findlay, that's like making $124,000 in New York City. So housing is affordable, food's affordable, transportation's affordable. So it's a nice place to be. I'm sure it's probably a little bit more affordable than where you are. I should start that comparison with California.
Yep. So it's a bit, I would say, like, this is the place, like, where as international student we'd always love to, because like paying to university, like living in such a place, and again, like when you have that budget, they um, compared to many big cities like here or New York, I think you would find Finley a lot better. Cost highly affordable. So I would always recommend the students like Minal to go to the place like Finlay, where they can easily settle in, and then um, graduate without much stress as you find in
Mhm.
other countries. That's just a comparison. So I would say this is a better place.
And I
Yep.
do always like to point this out about the weather in Finland. We are in the Midwest, which means our summers are hot and our winters are cold, and spring and fall are beautiful. So we do get snow. It's the fall here right now, and today it's raining. I can't really say it's a beautiful fall day. It's raining outside right now.
Mhm.
But right now, this time of year, it 65 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that translates to Celsius off the top of my head. So when you come, especially if you come for the spring intake in January, either bring a coat or plan to bring a coat or plan to get one when you get here. We will have that sort of thing available to our students. I know we've got some volunteers that are currently working on gathering those types of supplies for international students, because a lot of international students get here and they're like, oh, I didn't realize it was going to be this cold. So we do work to have that sort of thing for you, but do plan for that, especially if you're coming in January. It's going to be cold.
Like, by the way, have you had a chance to like play with the snow over there, or you are still waiting?
No, I'm waiting. I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
waiting.
So
Yep. You
what
Right
was
wouldn't
now, the cold has started, so
right?
yeah,
you wouldn't have
I'm
had snow
excited.
just yet. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
because in Nepal, Rebecca, like we just like go to like places like distant places, where uh, you'd find snow, like just like in the mountainous region. People just like go there and try to touch the snow, like and then
Mhm.
and they never can make it, and they don't have snow at all by the time they race. So it's like people are very fond of like visiting such places, but coming here in Finlay, in Midwest, and even the eastern part like New York, I think now it is starting. So feel
Mhm.
also down together with your friends, so
Yeah.
this would be very like easy for you to like just get to the places right there. The snow will
Yeah.
be there,
Exactly.
right? So
We do it specifically for international students too.
mhm.
One thing I want to talk about real quick, I know we're running out of time. You don't have to have figured out where you're living when you arrive to campus. We have welcome houses that you can stay in for a couple of weeks and figure if you want to move on campus, live off campus. I do encourage you. We'll send some communication out here in the next 2 weeks about for students that want to live on campus. And you live on campus, it doesn't mean you're living in a dorm. We have a lot of houses essentially that students can rent a room in. And the nice thing about that is they are fully furnished. All the
Mhm.
utilities are included, and we're actually going to I haven't told you this yet, Pavan. We're going to put a housing grant in place for our international students who want to live on campus. That should
Right.
help with some of that cost, because once we put that housing grant in place, I think it's going to make a lot more sense for students to rent from the university, because it'll be about the same price, especially when you consider they're furnished and all the utilities are included, and you're guaranteed walking distance from everything. So but you don't have to. A lot of our students do rent from private people too, but we can help you get all that figured out once you arrive as well. And we will do an orientation for students. Our orientation for January is going to be the 6th of January, 7th of January. Well, we'll get you registered for classes and get you settled and everything. So
Mhm.
real quick about overall costs. Don't be scared off by the tuition cost here for undergraduate students. We do offer good scholarships, and I'll talk about those. Our master's degrees, most of them are 2-year master's degrees. You're going to pay total for the 2-year between about 24 and 28,000, depending on the degree. So when you
Mhm.
spread that out over 4 semesters, it ends up being 6 or 7 a semester. Not fairly reasonable. For our undergraduate scholarships, we offer, you can see, if you're admitted to Findlay, you at least get a $12,000 scholarship, and then it goes up from there depending on your grade point average. So the stronger your grades, the bigger the scholarship you get. For graduate students, we offer a little bit of scholarships for graduate students. A lot of our graduate students then, once they're here, apply to be a graduate assistant, and some of them can become a graduate assistant and get their tuition partially covered or fully covered. You can see here, if you're an MBA student or environmental, you get a $2,000 scholarships. The programs you get $1,000, and if we do not require the GMAT or the GRE, but if you have it, do submit it with your application, and if you get a certain score there, you can get an additional scholarship. And then most of the time, we can waive the English language requirement. So I really encourage grad students, if they've happened to have taken that, send it to us, and it will help you. Undergraduate, we do require English language scores. We do not accept MOIs. We take Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL. We take most of them. Minimum IELTS is a 6.0. Duolingo, should be on that slide, is a 95 for it. For graduate, most graduate programs, the minimum IELTS is a 6.5. The health informatics program is now actually a 7.0 for IELTS, but the rest are a 6.5. Duolingo is a 105 for that. If you are below that, still do apply. You can be a conditional admission, because we have an English language program, and most students are in it for a semester. And it really benefits them to get their English stronger before they go into their program. So it's not meant to be a penalty at all. It really helps you succeed in the United States and helps you succeed in college.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think that's, steps to applying, and Pavan can help you through that process. I think that's all I have. Let me stop sharing. We'll do that. There we go. Okay.
All right. That was a wonderful presentation about Finlay, and of course, this has encouraged us all to guide more students coming to the United States and choosing Finlay as their next university. Thanks, Rika, for that.
Good. Thank you.
All right, and so we just heard from Rebecca. So, Minal, what's your take on that? Like, which programs or what part of the presentation was most interesting for you?
First of all, about studies, that's true. Health informatics is really good here. I see many international students going in there, and then in MBA also we have many international students. So I think these are the subjects that's really chosen by the international students. And then she talked about the clubs. I found that really interesting. There are many clubs. I don't think anyone will feel left out because we have so many options. I think people in Nepal will be really surprised by it, like how inclusive it is, because we have a K-pop club. And that's huge because no one usually have that, and that's so inclusive. And then I have joined the Psyche club. It's about the psychology stuff. And then we have polls for writers. We have options for anyone, and they'll feel included. I love the clubs, and then there's so many activities going around. If there's a new festival, there'll be some fun activities. I'm really excited about this horror maze that's going to take place for the Halloween. Yeah, so there are really fun activities going around. And if someone wants a proper American college experience, you said it right. This is the perfect place. That's what I feel right now.
Great. Yeah. So you have that reconfirmed, like together with Rebecca, about it's not just a place like just for like textbooks things, but it's more about like fun while you are studying. So you have all the activities, like you said, that helps international student get through the new culture, I would say, like because you come from different backgrounds, different geography, and you might like say like, hey, like, and I miss these things back home. But when you have that international, festival, like cultural things, or even like food festival, something like that, and many other activities, that means like you're not away from home. So it's your like second home or like first home. It could be anything. So, but you have those things in place, and I feel great about having our students at the University of Findlay, and we continue to that. And I have personally visited Findlay a couple of times, and the recent one was, I think, in June, and I think July. Yeah, July.
It was July.
Yep, it was July, and thanks to your invitation, Rebecca, I truly enjoyed the time I met with the professors there, the department heads, and some international students, and just go visit the places, and get to feel that kind of like environment. And then it was like a bit like a post-COVID thing. I don't say like we just like uh, like finish that COVID era. But again, like I would say, see, like I visited from California, and where like marks is mandatory.
Yeah, I remember
In
that.
West, in Midwest, the interesting thing was when I just got off the plane and then like waited for limo, and the limo driver was asking me why you are like wearing mask in here. Like nobody cares about that because we have that like no such cases, and people have like started like coming to a normal life. So
Mhm.
you should feel free. So at once, like I was just looking around, but like, ever since then, I felt like okay, I feel like I'm back to the world. So I mean,
Mhm.
like they care about health, they have everything, like all the the safety protocols and all. But again, like they they are good about like everybody. They care about everybody, and then they, it's just not about like marks things, but many other things. Like you have people very friendly. Like we went to some eateries, like I would say, like the cafe, and even the hotel guys, the people when I was just like meet with as we pass by. So everything I feel like it helps an international student, because if you feel like you are just by yourself, only you are treated good in the university facilities, I don't think like it's a good place to be. For me, like as I hear from my past students as well, who have graduated from Findlay, they are quite happy about being a alumni or being the graduate of University of Findlay. So Minal is here, so are many of our students at Findlay. I'm sure like they're gonna have great experience. All right, and we're gonna continue with some questions here, Rebecca. While I'm addressing that question, Minal, I would like to hear from you
Mhm.
in a brief, like, what was your journey like coming to Finlay? If you could just like, relate some, some of the stories, like that would be helpful.
Mm. Um, it was nice. It was overwhelming. That's all I can say. Like it took me a lot to process. So Chris was there to pick me up at the airport. So
Hmm.
it was a nice time because Chris is really nice and he works at the buffer center. And on the way to the campus, he was nice. He gave me so many tips about the university and how I can go from there and how I can start. So that was nice, and he was funny too. He was very friendly, and it just made me more relaxed because I was so nervous while going to the university. And then talking to Chris was like good. And then he also picked up a Japanese exchange
Mhm.
student, and then we also talked about him and stuff, and it just made me more calm. And then it made me more excited about the university. We came here, we had lunch at the Buffett Center, and then everything, I was surprised. So is it this easy? Like the things are going so smoothly. And then I enjoyed. And from that, I was really excited about our building because I usually study at night. Even when I was in Nepal, like
No.
I need to study at night. I can't do it at daytime. So it's open till 2. I go there. I'm there all the time. So showed me the building. I was laughing because I'm there all the time studying. And then
Yeah.
they have this, yeah, great ambience going on. And I just go
Yep.
there and relax, study. Sometimes I even go there when I don't have to study. I just go there and do my stuff, other stuff with
Mhm.
my laptop. So that has been fun. And talking about the cafes, um, I love the food. There's this Bricks, you must know that it's on the downtown. They
Yeah.
have great food, and then yeah, especially people from Nepal, they won't have to worry about the food because we have plenty of options and they are at an affordable price. So
Mhm.
food has been good. I,
Great.
I've, yeah, I've chosen some of my favorite places here already,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's been a great experience. And then doing activities. I think the first week after we came here, the orientation week, we had so many activities going on. We had a small fair kind of thing with, yeah, zip lining and then everything. It was fun. Orientation week was good, and now my classes have started.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm busy with the assignments because my 3 classes just started this week.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'll see
All
where it
right.
goes from here.
Yeah, but that's a great experience that you've been experiencing, and thanks to Finlay's setup, and then the it's a like quite nice city, I would say, and it accommodated like every student from every background. Like you said, like you found your places to go to, and
Yes.
yeah, on the screen, Rebecca is Mr. Chandra Vista and Minal's dad, who just like visited together with Minal's mom as well. He's
Oh
watching
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Namaste. And
Yes.
thanks for having them, at the campus. And then they actually made it, and then Minal was happy to see them at the
Yeah.
campus. And back here, like I had them for a week time, and then they said about a very good experience, visiting Minal at the University of Findlay. So they're happy, and we need more happy faces along the way.
Yeah.
Thanks, Thunder Uncle.
I, I
So.
am I am very happy with the visa offices seems
Mhm.
like opening and giving visas for our Nepalese students. They have always been some of our hardest working, nicest students
Mhm.
that we welcome to campus. So
Great. Yeah, yeah, like so you must be proud, like your dad is saying namaste to all of us. So what's your
Yeah.
message right now to him and the parents, in a brief,
Um,
and I will take the questions. I have seen a couple of them, and yeah, go ahead, please.
yeah, so I'm really glad my parents got to come here and they got to see everything. They were especially very happy with so many libraries that we have. They were like, yeah, you'll get a lot of space to study. So they were happy. And to other parents is that they're watching, it's a safe place to send your children, and then it's a good place. You won't regret it. Whether it's about studies or their personal growth, you get to do both here.
Great. Yeah, thanks for that message. And Rebecca, like, we would like to take some questions here. It's definitely
Yeah.
about like getting into like, the entry requirements, the programs. So let's take some of those questions here. And yes, Miral, that was a wonderful experience that you have shared with us here on the screen.
Yeah.
And, like, I know, like, you studied in a good school in Nepal. Then you, like, proceeded, I mean, you went further to India as your first international destination. And then, like, you came to the United States. So it looks like a long journey, but, you have made it here. And we
Yeah.
wish you good luck in
Thank you so
coming
much.
days as well. So I take the first. Good evening to all of you. So thanks for that. Please let us know your questions here. We'd be happy to take that. And next one is from Pudasini Nisant. Hello, namaste. Completed MBA from Lincoln University. So let me know, like, let us know here, like, how can we help you? If you want to do any other degrees at the University of Findlay, want to know about the entry requirements, like, the GPA or test scores, then you are welcome to ask any sort of questions there. Um, I would say, okay. So what can here's the next question. Yeah, right, Nissan. Yeah, thanks, Nissan, for that. Would you take it, Rebecca?
What can be done after MBA? We have the only doctorate level programs we have that aren't a health professions program. We have a doctorate of we have two different doctors of education. Those are fully online programs. They are considering bringing them in person. A lot of our students that apply that already have an MBA, they will then apply to like the Masters of Health Informatics program or the Masters of Analytics program. It's an additional master's degree, but it is a degree that's different than the MBA that couples really nicely with the MBA. Some of the classes, there's a data analytics class that crosses over between the three programs. And so with your 3.7 GPA, that's a great GPA. You wouldn't have any problem getting into any of our graduate programs here.
Uh-huh. Please do let us know. Then I would be happy to guide you through the process.
Yeah.
Every step that you need to like get into. We at Bradford Global in New Banesar, and myself here in California would be happy to help you any way you would need to. If it is Lincoln University, right here in Auckland, just right like 20
Mhm.
minutes away from me. Or like any other places, please do let me know how I can be of your assistance. Like Rebecca just mentioned, yeah, like we'd be happy to look your background and then see how we can help you better.
The
All right.
master's environmental program might be a nice, if you have a science propensity, would be a nice addition with the MBA.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thanks for that question. Next would be Binaya Mahajan. So, is there 100% scholarship?
No, the only way there isn't at the undergrad level. The graduate level, sometimes you can get a graduate assistantship that covers your tuition, but we don't award those until after you're here a semester. I actually have 3 graduate assistants that work here in the International Admissions Office, and those do have we cover their tuition, they get paid an hourly rate, and they live in the welcome houses, so their accommodations are free as well. But those are 3 of the most lucrative GA positions, but we don't fully fund students otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, please apply in time, so you'll be eligible for the highest scholarship amount as possible. There may not be 100%, but trust me, like, they got a very good number of scholarship awards still waiting for you. If you are planning to start in this spring, that is January 2022. So we'd be happy to take your file and then proceed it further to the admissions office at the International Center at the University of Findlay, and Ravika and her team would be happy to help you through. All right.
And because of our long relationship with Bradford, we do give priority to applicants and issuing I-20s that come from Bradford, because we know the quality of students that we get from them, and we've worked together for a really long time. So
that's great to hear from you. And then we actually strive to provide you with the best students that we get, like, and help them get their dream institutions like Finlay. And it's really, like, helpful for everybody of us. Like, if you are processing the I-20s, quick, fast, like this. Now for Bradford, I would say like this in a few days, it's being processed. That means it is helping us to schedule the interviews, the visa interviews, right in time, because students were struggling to get an appointment in Nepal and in India this fall. So this January is like already looking, like it's another another big session, and the embassies are getting lots of application. I mean, interviews application already. So apply timely, and we'll have a better plan for you while you are choosing university differently.
Yeah. And we do have a summer start this year as well to try and accommodate the students that are.
I'm happy
because we have so many that are getting visas. Those appointments fill up fast. So we have a middle of the May start for the MBA, the environmental program, our analytics program, and our not analytics, the health informatics and the education program. So if you're interested in one of those, you don't think you can quite get everything together for January, we do have a start in the middle of May as well.
Great. Thanks for having that extra.
Yeah, we're excited. We haven't been able to do a summer start in the last couple of years because COVID. So I'm excited to be able to have that start back this year.
Yeah. That means we feel more confident. Like we have every 3 months we have like 1 or 2 programs running at the University of Findlay.
If you miss one, it's okay. There's another start coming not too far after that.
Yeah, thanks for that. Binay, thanks for your question here. Hope you, if you got any follow-up questions, please feel free to access here. Yeah. About before taking next question here. So what is the excuse me, what is the application flow right now, like from our part of the world, let's say South Asia, Nepal? How ahead are you? So
we are seeing a lot of applications from India. We're actually happily seeing a lot of applications from Nepal. Bangladesh, we're seeing a lot from. We're getting a lot from West Africa right now. Those are probably our biggest areas, but we do have students from 45 different countries here right now. So I think the COVID backlog is what seems to be dominating. We have a lot of applicants from the Middle East as well. But I think the COVID backlog is what we're experiencing a lot of right now. So, but about 2 years ago, we probably had maybe 15 applications from Nepal. And now I bet you there's 300
Yeah.
applications in there from Nepal. So
Mm,
how many will be able to get their visa and come? I don't know. That's always the fun game.
right. But
It's
we have a
yes,
very
it's a
good
last minute,
success
but
rate.
yes,
Hmm.
and I know for our students that are coming, particularly from Nepal and India, with the University of Findlay I-20, because we have such a brand and are such known in those countries. Students don't seem to be having any trouble getting their visa. If they can get a visa appointment and get it in time, we don't seem to be having too much trouble with students getting their visa. So that's great. 2 years ago, I felt like it was like only 1 out of 10 got it, and now it's not that often from those parts of the world that students are saying, "Oh, my visa got denied." So, and if they
Hmm.
do, generally, I can look back and go, I can kind of see why. But our good students and our good serious applicants that know who they're applying to and know about the university don't seem to be having any trouble getting a visa.
Right. Mina, like, you applied to the University of Findlay, and I know, like, applied to
Mhm.
other universities too. So, how come you choose University of Findlay? In a brief, if you could share something about that.
So I chose first. I looked up the grades for the university and their ranking in the country. The rankings you showed. I looked up the ranking. It had a good ranking, and then the second thing I chose this was because it's really safe over here.
Mhm.
And yeah, I looked it up, and then it had a safe environment.
Mhm.
Second reason was that, and then the third reason was uh, Finlay has a really good MBA studies. So I think these three were the major reasons why I chose this university. It had a really good ranking. So
Absolutely, yeah. They have, like, double ACSB, BSB, right? That
Mhm.
accreditation, and which is quite a popular one in the whole world. So that's one reason, the main reason as well, like finding jobs, making a career. I think that matters a lot, and Finlay has it. And thanks to the continued efforts by your team and the university administration, Rebecca. So I'm sure. Uh, Minal will be one successful graduate, and then we are excited on that. So yeah, thanks for saying about it. And this is quite true that Finlay has it all to offer to international student. And yes, like 3 years back, and maybe like there was not so much things about international, you know. City or like such activities or visibility about the University of Finlay, but people know about your name, Rebecca.
The people
Right.
that worked before me did a really good job. I just get to benefit from it.
Yeah, as from agent's perspective, I would say like things are a lot better now.
Good.
We'd have like waited for like months to get an I-20, but now like it's just a matter of days, few days, and thanks to all those improvements that have being made with the illicit. And yeah, like for Bradford, the students like who are applying through Bradford. What is your experience? I mean, you said something like good about that, but
Mhm.
you know, like in a statement, let's say in a few words, what do you see? Like the student, being coming like from
Mhm.
Bradford.
I know that if Pawan sent them and they come from Bradford, that they're going to be a serious student, they're going to be a strong student, and they already are well informed about the university and what we have to offer. So right now,
Mhm.
international recruiting, we're in a unique time where we have a lot of applicants. A couple years ago with COVID, we didn't have as many, but right now it's hard. It's hard to manage and hard to figure out who are genuine, who are going to be great students, and I automatically, if they come from Bradford, I automatically know that they're going to be a good student and we want them. So we
Mhm.
we prioritize getting all their documents and everything and their application done quicker because I also know when they come, they're very kind students, they're hardworking students, they're honest students. They get involved in great things on campus. So, and that is
Mhm.
really important. We're recruiting is my job is also to provide a great college experience to all of our students and
Mhm.
having great international students that bring culture and help diversify a little bit some of our students that I grew up a mile from here. It's really, really important. So more students like Minnell, send them all.
Yeah, and we feel proud of like having students like Minal at University of Finlay, and yes, yeah, it's working with you. And University of Finlay is a great pride for Bradford, for me, and for everybody involved. So we'll continue with that. And yes, like we are taking the application like globally as your global
Mhm.
partner. and we feel great about like the improved situation about like the admission process, like I said. So receiving the opportunities in just few days. So it means like it's really going great, and if helping the students schedule the interviews in time, and that way like students are less stressed, and they are moving forward to their interviews, and making it here in time. Like if you're applying for January, now this should have received I-20s, and we're still receiving new application for this session, for this spring. I hope like everybody would receive the I-20s in time, and I know like your office is very prompt on that, and then I highly admire that now. All right, okay. Next question here, Rebecca. So I think I missed one. So how to apply a bachelor's in Australia, or like from Australia? If you think like if you mean like from Australia, yes, we still can take your application and process it at the University of Findlay if you're in Australia. Or if your question is about studying in Australia, please feel free to visit our office in Nepal, or like access at the numbers that I just like showed on the screen a while. But thanks for your question anyway. Or if you got any follow-up questions, please feel free to access here. All right. So next would be the question. Okay, I think he's one of our students. I mean, students at UF, University of Findlay. So not sure if Rebecca has your details right.
I have to look into the system. I'm sorry. If you really recently applied, it's certainly on our list. I think we have all of them reviewed and taken care of for ones that have applied pretty recently. I think you've got a couple set that have come in the last couple of days. So typically it's a 2-week turnaround time on an application review in I-20. We work to get Bradford students done faster, but we do ask for a 2-week turnaround time.
Absolutely.
But he knows how to get a hold of me if he needs me. So
yeah, obviously please do let us know, or you can just like right here, like when you apply to, and if it is something that is holding up, we just like get through that, and then like Rebecca mentioned to you, she would be happy to like look into your file and see like how fast they can get it processed. But like every student is receiving I-20 just in matter like a week time, I would say. All right, thanks for your question. And here we have the next one.
Mandatory, if not. It depends on what the question is. If I want to apply to USA and computer related subject, is IELTS mandatory? We do require an English language test score. It doesn't have to be IELTS. It could be Duolingo. It can be TOEFL. It can be PTE. Unless you have a degree from the United States or Australia or British Columbia or those areas, you require an English language test score.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you are just thinking about like applying without IELTS or any of the tests that Rebecca mentioned, see like at Finlay, you can still get the admission, but the condition like first you need to take some English course that would progress onto the academic level. Okay, so if you want that processing, then without IELTS, that is possible. I know like some of the universities that might offer you without IELTS or test scores, but I'm not sure like if they would require you to take the prerequisites like English courses before you start your academic. But please make sure that you are getting the right information, and rely on the agents who you trust most. Okay, so we at Bradford would be happy to give you options and talk more about your potential or your chances to get into the programs. But yes, we highly recommend taking any of the tests like TOEFL or IELTS, PT, and right now due to this pandemic, Duolingo is quite popular.
And if you don't take it and you want to come without it, we have an Acuplacer test that you will take it when you arrive. you'll have a conditional admission. Your I-20 will be an IELP only. But if
Mhm.
you take it and you score high enough to get directly into your program, you could at that point, we can change your admission and go direct admission. If you don't
Absolutely.
score high enough, you will be in the English language program and take English language classes till you get up to speed. And that's meant, this is the United States. English is by far the predominant language.
Mhm.
You want to be proficient in all levels of it to succeed in your academics. So you don't have to, but I highly, highly recommend it to have the score, because a I-20 that shows a direct admission is a little bit stronger than an I-20 that's IELP only. So I do
Absolutely.
recommend it.
Yeah, like you just said with her, with him. See, like Sincere, if you just wanna like apply with just English plus academic, I-20. So I don't think like the visa officer would be happy to consider while they're processing your visa, or the interview won't be as expected. So
Mhm.
just like feel like you have to go with the confidence, like you are a genuine student and you have chosen the right programs and you have met with the criteria like the academic and all this English test proficiency. So that way you can make your chances stronger before you present at the embassy for your visa. All right. So yeah, there are a couple of options like Finlay. Not every university has that one. Like, and they have IELP and that test, that's in-house test after coming here. So
Mhm.
if you score high enough, then you can get into their academic program. So this is only after coming here. But the challenge
Mhm.
is getting the visa. So please think wise.
It's
And
better for you if you do it. If you take this, even if you don't score high as you went to the test, it's better for you when you go to a visa appointment, because it shows that you're a more serious student.
right, yep. Hope you got that answer, and let us know how can we help you getting to that process. All right. So yeah, it's again Minal's dad. We visited University of Findlay. University, quite impressive. Of course, it is. That's the truth. I know you're not telling it because Minal is here with us today, but it's the truth. Same experience. All right. So we have next student here.
There is not an effect on, okay, so we talked about this a little bit. Your admission to the MBA program is based on your academic achievements. So you will be, without an English language test score, your admission or the GMAT will, you still be admitted to the program. Where you're going to get hung up at is whether or not you are conditionally admitted, like we said, or a direct admission. And a conditional admission is a completely different I-20, and your I-20 will say IELP only. The note that says upon completion of the IELP program, you'll be in the graduate program.
Mhm.
So whether there's any effect on visa acceptance, I don't have hard data that says that there is, but from anecdotally, what we've been told is, especially if you go to the visa interview and you've got an IELP only visa, but you're speaking in clear English, your visa officer may question, do you really need that? So again, take the IELTS or take the Duolingo. I know it's one more step, but I think it's a really important step that you don't really want to skip. It's in your best interest.
Yeah, that's the best advice I could, get from anybody. And then I want to say the same, advice to you. So why don't you take some time and then prepare for your IELTS at least, because the university University of Findlay at the moment they do not require GR or GMAT to get into the programs. If you have one, that's highly acceptable,
Fund it. It's
and
good.
and then you could get additional scholarship amount. I could see like 1,000 extra
Yep.
on top of your other academic kind of scholarship, and this is always good because you would have less financial burden, and then you feel honored, having a scholarship, some amount of scholarship while you're accepted at the university. And
Mhm.
by the way, like university is very like moderate. I mean, in terms of like financial standing, university offers the programs, the entire programs, I'd say, for less than 22,000 for
Mhm.
MBA and related programs or any other programs. That's the maximum. Like I would see 27,000 to just complete.
27. Yep.
Yeah, to complete the degree. That could take like up to 2 years.
Mhm.
But if you just like calculate on a yearly average, I would say, is $12,000 a
Mhm.
year as tuition, and there is no housing mandatory. You could choose your friends, choose to stay off campus. Like Minal has got off campus housing, but I want to ask you, Minal, like, what's your experience? Like, how easy to get to the classes or to the university, living off campus or on campus, when you look at your friends, who are living a bit away or like into the campus. So how is it like, the difference between living on or off campus?
Personally, for me, I got this off-campus house from they gave me a sheet of paper from my international admissions
Oh, okay.
for the off-campus options, and then I called him. We also looked for on-campus houses, but then I had made a friend here, and we wanted to live together. And then
Mhm.
we got this really nice apartment, and our classes is just right in front of us. We can see it from the window. It's just 1 minute away. So we decided to stay here. But then we did look into on-campus housing options too. It's like you have options. It's for you
Mhm.
to decide. Personally, we found this more good for us because there were two of us who wanted to live together, and then we decided it's
Right.
nearby.
Yeah, when I visited last time to the University of Findlay, Rebecca was, accompanying me, like giving a nice tour of the campus, and then that time I had seen, the dormitories, the places like in where you could choose to stay off campus as
Mhm.
well, which are just like very walking distance, like just 5-10 minutes maximum. I would say
Yeah.
just next to the university, so it's like
Yeah.
it's not far away. That means there is no need of like driving a car to get to your university or like to attend the classes. It's quite accessible. And yeah so how expensive is it, like do you see the prices, like your friends who are living off campus or on campus? So what's the do you find the difference, like by any amount?
I think after adding up everything, it's kind of similar. There's this another Nepali student who just recently came, and then she is about to live on campus. So we
Mhm.
just decided, we just were talking about the expenses and stuff. It came out around same
All
when we
right.
talked about it.
Yeah, all right. But I would say, like, campus housing is not that expensive. It's,
Mm,
very, like, affordable. And because I know the University of Findlay has taken into consideration that housing should not be that expensive. It should be, comfortable for them, for the students, and their campus experience must be, noteworthy. So I think
Mhm.
with that note, I think they are having the housing around, and then the city itself is welcoming the international student together with the University of Findlay, I think. So anything on that, Rebecca?
Um, the neat thing about the community of Findlay as well, it's not, we're not a giant city, about 40,000 people, but because we have had international students here for so long and strong populations of international students, the community is very welcoming to all the international students. They actually, we missed them a little bit. I think the community missed them here a bit with the pandemic and just students just not being able to get here. So it is one of the things that makes this community unique,
Mhm.
and it's compared to some of the other communities around us. It's really kind of cool that that we get to do that. That not only are we impacting the culture of campus by having students come from all over the world, we're impacting the culture of the city of Findlay itself by having
Mhm.
our students come from all over the world. So it's a really neat role to be able to say, hey, I got to have an impact on that.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, this pandemic hit hard for
Yeah.
all the businesses, and then the international mobilities, and now, like, things have improved a lot with the vaccine and everything. I think this spring gonna bring in more and more international students to the University of Findlay, as we already have good number of applications coming through for you from Bradford. So yeah, we coming to the end of the program. So I would want to hear from you both, like, what could be the best access to incoming students from South Asia, so Nepal, India, because we operate out of there, and what could be the best message from your
Mhm.
side. So, choosing Finlay would be the best decision of your life.
I'd say my best advice for international students that are getting ready to come here, or quite frankly, any university in the United States, is be ready for a bit of a culture shock and give yourself a little bit of time. I see a lot of students when they come in that first week, they're overwhelmed, they're already homesick, they're not sure what the right next step is. Everyone doubts, oh my gosh, what have I done? And then it's really neat to see within a couple of weeks, they have established friend groups, they've got their accommodations established, they're in classes. It's really neat to see to grow, to see them grow. And then by the time they graduate, it is just such a neat experience to be part of. So it's okay if your first couple of weeks you feel overwhelmed. Stick it out. You can do it and you won't regret it.
Yep. Uh, yes, that is the best advice you could ever hear. And Rebecca herself is very friendly, and she loves having international students at the campus, and like have you mixed up with the local communities as well as the international students. So you could always count on her for any needs or for any support, and that way, you could have a very good campus experience being an international student at the University of Findlay. And so as you are there, and it's really you know um, helpful for all of us who have joined us live and then watching it on the recorded version, um, that you are international student there, and then you are saying about your experience so far. So
Yeah.
what's your advice or a message to your incoming friends from anywhere like Nepal, India, Bangladesh, or any other country like North Africa or somewhere?
My advice would be to ask for help. Don't be overwhelmed and ask for help because people are willing to help here and you'll figure things out. You don't have to worry. You can ask for help. There are admission offices and yeah, you come here, don't feel overwhelmed. You'll figure it out. Just give yourself some time. That's it.
Hmm. So, like you said, like you had a couple of options, like like choose the right university for you, and you said for three main reasons you had given
Mhm.
University of Findlay a shot, and then now like you feel happy about that. So,
Yeah.
what could be more reasons you think like besides that?
I
The
think
cost of
besides
attendance.
that,
So,
yeah,
okay,
you're
great.
coming from Nepal, so you're alone. And I think this is a town, and then everyone around here is friendly. I think if you go to a big city, it'll be more difficult for you to settle down. But here, it's like it's easy and nice, and slowly you get settled down, you get used to things, and then you can explore more things.
Hmm.
So, especially for international students, I think this is a good space to come at for when you're coming from Nepal to USA. This is a
Right.
good place to come. Yeah.
Yeah, some parents are nervous about like sending their kids, especially like as we come from that society, like their girls, so to any country.
Mhm.
So coming to the United States and at the Finlay. So what's your experience? I'm saying girl and boy, but the thing is like what's your confidence and what their confidence should be like.
Yeah. I can't talk for the other universities. This is only I've only experienced with this. So I
Right.
think if you're planning to come here, it's safe.
Mhm.
Because I've mentioned this before that they've been really helpful. The Buffett Center and admissions office, like I can't express it enough. They've been really helpful, and you can be confident because once you're here, you're safe. You won't have to worry about housing because we have welcome houses at first. They'll help you guide finding the houses, and they're nearby campus. So if you need any help, you can just go to the campus. You don't have to worry, and it's really safe. So the
Mhm.
university, a security car, it just moves around all night, so you're even safe at night or daytime. So I think they can be confident and they can apply for it. It's like you don't
Exactly.
have to be scared, and then you get help very easily.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
anything to add on that, Vika, about campus safety?
I mean, there's a lot to do, and she's exactly right. College, especially in the United States, it is what you make of it. If you're going to come to college and only go to class and only go back to your house and only study, and you're like, oh, I'm bored and lonely, do more, meet some people, go smile at someone, join some student groups, go hang out in the business building like Minal does and meet some people. There's a lot of great things to do, but you've got to reach out and do it and grab it. So don't just go to class and go home. Gosh, that's boring. Go do some fun stuff.
Right. And Rebecca is very, easy to reach out for any kind of support or need anytime. And yes, with that said, thanks, Rebecca, and thanks,
Yep.
about like for sharing many things about the University of Findlay, and Minal, for your experience as international student at the University of Findlay, and your great advices to our future students. And thanks for commending our work as your special partner agency, uh, Rebecca. So it's very uh, exciting to work with you and help our students, our future students. We have been processing through, and now like in considering to process with us for the University of Finlay. And Minal, we make sure that you'll have many friends from Nepal and India and some other parts of
Yeah.
the world this spring and beyond. And thanks,
Yeah.
Rebecca, one more time for making it a lot easier for students to get the admission process, done as quickly as you find. Like, I mean, in just a week time, and that is a great news. And also the moderate fee structure of Finlay, the great cultural and campus life things, and a degree recognition, the value, the job prospects after you are graduate. So many things to share with our future students about the University of Finlay. I appreciate your time and valuable advice to our viewers today on this live session, as well as on the recorded version. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
you.
Bye. Bye. Take care.